back to my channel. A couple quick notes about the iceberg before we get into it. I want to make sure I give 100% full credit to AJ_won't_load on Reddit. I found this iceberg when I was looking up I looked up LPS popular iceberg because I was hoping there would be an iceberg just on the show because I thought that would be funny for another video I was filming. But I found this instead, and I immediately needed to cover it because no one else has covered LPS iceberg, and I just think that would be very interesting. And researching it was very interesting. I even got humbled at times with there being stuff I didn't know, even though I felt like I knew everything because, you know, I was a childhood collector of Littlest Pet Shop and an ex-LPS tuber. I'm kind of a fake fan. I kept pretty much everything the same. The only ones I didn't mention were Hasbro Stopped Trying and another shift in materials and quality, because I had already talked about the materials and quality, and Hasbro Stopped Trying, that kind of goes into it. I really should have taken off more because with a lot of the generations I spoke about in LPS, it seemed like I was just regurgitating a lot of information. And so if it seems like with some of them I'm like, yeah, I already said this, I apologize. It's too late to take them off. And also I kind of wanted to talk about all the generations, so. But without further ado, let's get into the LPS iceberg. G1 and G2 pets. This refers to the first and second generations of Littlest Pet Shop that came after a result of Hasbro buying the company from Kenner and doing a redesign, especially with the first generation. These were the first pets and the most well-known, and they are loved among the community. How big is your Littlest Pet Shop? This is actually the catchphrase or slogan for Littlest Pet Shop between the years 2005 and 2012.
How big is your Littlest Pet Shop now? Playful Paws Pet Daycare comes with a porcupine. Additional pets each sold separately.
Nintendo DS and Wii games. Hasbro has made multiple Littlest Pet Shop games over the years, from board games to Wii and DS games. Oftentimes these games would include an exclusive LPS or two, which I honestly, that is so smart. Whoever thought of that marketing genius? The one I grew up with was personally Biggest Stars, and it came with a Cocker Spaniel and a bunny, I believe. This game included mini games and goals related to fashion. Usually they were just mini games that involved like little pets. The animated series. Littlest Pet Shop is an animated series based on Toyland that aired on the Hub for 4 seasons. It aired from November 10th, 2012 to June 4th, 2016. It was developed by Julie McNally and her husband, Tim. It's centered around aspiring fashion artist Blythe Baxter, who originally appeared in sets with Littlest Pet Shops where there was a doll. The doll was named Blythe. She's beginning a new life in the big city, where her and her father, Roger, move into an apartment above Littlest Pet Shop. I could go into heavy detail about this one, but I won't, because personally, a lot of people could agree, though nostalgic, this show was the beginning of the end for Littlest Pet Shop. For future toy lines, they based the designs off this show purely, and it was a very bad mistake. Customization. Basically, LPS customs are when collectors painted over their pets, or fake ones if they had them, and turned them into their own unique creation, basically creating their own LPS. Oftentimes inspired by characters or just whatever they wanted, honestly. And I always thought these are super cool. I give such creds to people who do this stuff because you guys are so talented. I mean, look how many of my pets I fucked up. YouTube and Instagram community. LPS tubers are usually what the YouTubers in the LPS community are referred to, and Instagram, most of the time people post photos of their Littlest Pet Shops or will use it as an outlet to update viewers about their YouTube channels, from my knowledge. This one is pretty self-explanatory. It's just referring to the communities of people who collect Littlest Pet Shop on social media. 2005 recreation. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as I said before, Littlest Pet Shop used to be owned by another company called Kenner. And this was in the 1980s, but in 2005 is when Hasbro launched their new improved redesign after buying the toy line. Original Kenner toy line. Basically the same as the last. This is what Littlest Pet Shops used to look like before they were bought by Hasbro, and I honestly couldn't find too much info about this when researching. The meaning of the shapes in the G2 eyes. I honestly love this detail, and it's something I think is really cool about it. But the shapes in their eyes actually mean different categories.
Take a look at these new collections. New LPS collections. This is the sportiest. And this one's the cuddliest.
Oh, wait, what's this one? The fanciest.
Your phone's collecting every toy like the fanciest.
LPS Popular. LPS Popular is a web series started by Sophie Garrett, also known as Sophie GTV, on YouTube in 2010. This show is very well known in the YouTube community. outside of even the LPS community. It's a memes I've seen recently of this show. This show even went as far as to make the pets that were the main characters rare in the LPS collector community. Actually gonna make a video where I rewatched the series and it was gonna be really fun, but I saw this and I needed to hop on this iceberg first, so that will definitely be next. Biggest adventure plug and play game. Like many shows, characters, things at the time in the 2000s, Littlest Pet Shop made their own TV game. No gaming system was required. All you needed was some AA batteries, 4 to be exact, and a television. This game included adopting and playing with pets in their own little TV world. The set also came with an exclusive owl pet. 2006 to 2007 digital pets. We all remember Tamagotchi, right? Well, this is basically your very own LPS Tamagotchi. It was super cool, and it also doubled as a cute keychain. I'm honestly jealous that I never got to own one of these. Comic-Con cat and hippo. The Comic-Con cat was a comic-style based cat that was sold exclusively at Comic-Con San Diego in 2009 at the HasbroToy.com booth. It's very hard to find for sale. There's a lot of fakes online due to such a small quantity being sold. The hippo was also sold at this same booth and is very rare as well. If you have her, you are on my rob list. Blind bags. Hasbro's made very many blind bag sets of LPS, from cutest pets to colorfully cute pets, which may sound the same, but I'm only including the second one because I still want that rainbow bear to this day. I will say over time the blind bag's quality did become poor, which is a little unfortunate because I always thought these sets were really cute. Giant Deco Pets. Giant Deco Pets were basically a giant Littlest Pet Shop, like the size of a stuffed animal, but these weren't their stuffed animal line. We'll talk about that later. They were still plastic. They came with stickers, pens, and glitter so you could decorate them, hence the name Deco Pet. Prototype pets. The best way to explain this is a lot of TV shows and things you know and love, they make prototypes before they actually have an official design for their stuff, and that's what Hasbro did with many of their pets. Some have resurfaced online and even been obtained by collectors. Fairy Toy Line. Around 2014, I honestly couldn't find the exact year, but I do know it was around then, Hasbro released an LPS toy line of fairies. These were super cool. Some of the coolest sets and designs I've personally seen for Littlest Pet Shops, and I think I only have one fairy personally, unfortunately. Mail order pets. Stickers were included in many LPS packages from 2008 and on and were used to acquire these mail order pets. They came inside playsets, Deco Pet packages, and collector diaries. The diary had to be purchased first in the US to hold the stickers, while in Europe, collectors would receive a sheet for putting the stickers on. One mail order pet would take about 6 to 8 stickers and would take 10 to 12 weeks for delivery. Fairy controversy. This one mostly has to do with fairies not being liked within the LPS community, which I can see as much as I like them myself because they're very different from a lot of the other pets. Like, they're not really an animal. It's, you know, kind of a strange thing, but I could see why people would, you know, be a little upset about the new release and it being fucking fairies compared to what there usually is. Harmony the Dancing Dog. Harmony was an LPS giant dancing dog. It was similar to the Deco Pets in size, but definitely looked different. Harmony's speaker could play your music from an MP3 player or iPod, I believe, and it would dance to the said music. Walkable toy line. I don't know why they did this, but basically walkables were just regular LPS that could walk on their own with a push of a button. My thing with this is a lot of the pets were actually super cute. If they would have just been regular LPS, I don't get this. You know, I think a lot of people are confused on this, but let me know your opinions in the comments. 2011 webisodes. In 2011, 7 webisodes based on Littlest Pet Shop toy line were released under the series name Littlest Pet Shop Presents. These included Rock Band, Blythe Scooter, Meow Manor, Hamster Playground, Blythe and Bunny, Pets on the Go, and Centipede Photo Shoot. Blythe dolls. Remember the LPS sets that came with a doll? That's Blythe, who would later be the main character in the Littlest Pet Shop TV show. And surprisingly, not that this is important, but Blythe, like the doll, became very popular within the doll customizing community. A lot of people would use her as a base, and I just thought that's very interesting to note. Littlest Pet Shop Online, figures, plushies, and online game. Littlest Pet Shop Online was an online game where you could make pets and play with other buddies/kids online. Also, you could play fun games and make friends, of course. And if you were a member, you could buy more clothes than non-members could, like every other game. Memberships costed between $14 and $49, but if you bought an LPSO pet stuffed animal similar to Webkinz, they'd have a code. And they also came with a free 1-month membership if you entered the code. Limited edition pets. Hasbro did an amazing job including limited edition Littlest Pet Shops whenever they could. A lot of the time including in merchandise, including board games, puzzles, DS games, Wii games, but also many more that I'm probably not mentioning. And this also included their mail order pets, the Comic-Con pets, and yeah. LPS VIP, plush line and online game. This is very similar to LPS Online. You could buy plush pets and insert them into the game via a code. Teensiest Tiniest Toy Line. Similar to Squinkies in my opinion, but not as like rubbery I guess, the teeny pets were tiny versions of LPS and typically came with a fold-in playset and removable keychains. Cutest Pets Toy Line. Cutest Pets were a line of Littlest Pet Shops that came out around 2011 and also were sometimes referred to as cuddly pets due to the fact they started introducing pets with like fuzzy tails or fuzzy ears versus the fucking dogs with the singular hair. Strange shift in materials and quality. A lot of collectors can agree, as LPS grew as a company or brand, they started to make more pets in bulk, or that's what I'm thinking led to this. And my first instance was some blind bags. As I said earlier, the quality really did decrease and they became more simplified, like solid colors versus cool designs and like, you know, time spent on them. Game Loft Game and Tokens. This was another set of LPS games, Littlest Pet Shop Style and Littlest Pet Shop Your World. They were based on the Littlest Pet Shop TV show this time. They ran on iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch, as well as Android devices. The goal was focused on the aspect of creating, collecting, and nurturing. Bring back the old LPS. Bring back the old LPS was a movement in the LPS community when the new G3, G4s released in stores, which I'm not really sure what generation it was because it seems like a mix of both to me. Towards the end of G3 was when they started introducing these, I think. Anyway, a lot of collectors, including me, hated the design because it was really ugly. Why? It was really fucking ugly. Look at this fucking giraffe. The heads no longer bobbled, but instead were very stiff and able to pop off. And the eyes were strange because they were purely based off the show at this time, including sets with characters from the show and Blythe. The colors once again were very plain and mostly solid, and this led to a lot of complaints and a wave of phone calls to Hasbro. G3 Pets. This is referring to the Generation 3 of Littlest Pet Shops. Little pets, big personalities. Like how big is your pet shop, this is another slogan for the LPS brand. It was used between years 2012 and 2014 for toy lines. G3 Controversy. Similar to Bring Back the Old LPS, collectors started to notice unwanted changes in the toys, which eventually led up to the new design, and also shift in quality and materials, and a lot of stuff was not as well made as it was with the G1 and G2s. Why everyone hated G3? G3 pets were the start of the end for Littlest Pet Shop. Quality increasingly got worse, as I said before. Weird eyes, stiff heads that don't bobble, solid colors, random holes, which I didn't mention before, but that was such a weird thing that they did. I could go on. I honestly think that G3 and G4 were, this was like the end of G3 in my opinion. Like, as I wouldn't say everyone hated them because there were some cute G3 pets, and it's sad they have to be grouped in with these ugly new ones. So, Magic Motion Toy Line. Same category as Walkables? Just why did they do this? I don't get it. A lot of these would have been cuter as regular pets. And these were more with like the G4, G3, like, you know, new design of pets. Mystery LPS. Similar to prototypes, these pets surface online and there's not really a lot of info to where they came from. Some people believe they could be factory defects, which could be likely. What do you guys think? Calling Hasbro videos. As I mentioned before, during the Bring Back the Old LPS movement, tons of furious collectors called Hasbro in protest with complaints towards the new line of pets. And a lot of these happen to be LPS tubers in the community who documented their conversations or phone calls. Who's Pet Shop. This is the most recent LPS slogan or catchphrase from Hasbro, and it's dated from 2014 to present, I believe. Littlest Pet Shop, A World of Your Own. In 2018, Littlest Pet Shop produced a new show with a new storyline and new characters, and it's about Littlest Pet Shops. You know, they get into all kinds of fun, throw parties, discover new friendships, and explore Pawtucket, a pet-only world made by pets. This time around, it was produced by Peter Lewis and Tim and Douglas Tuber. Generation 5 pets. Generation 5 Littlest Pet Shops are the newest in the series, and although I am maybe biased, but I love the older LPS 110% more. I will give them that they are much cuter, and they do look way better than the G4s. They've definitely improved. G4 pets. G4 Littlest Pet Shops are basically
the spawn of Satan.
Okay, no, seriously, these are the ones that like people are most angry about, including myself. G4 controversy. I swear that G4 and G3 should have been put into like one category on this iceberg, because I feel like I'm just like regurgitating information. Both controversies are very similar, just about the redesigns and, you know, quality's getting worse.
Harris Faulkner pet. Fox News anchor Harris Faulkner sued Hasbro in 2016 after she felt her likeness was being violated through the sale of a plastic toy hamster, also named Harris Faulkner in the Littlest Pet Shop series.
The G5 revival was nostalgia bait. From what I could find, it seemed like they did release some pets that looked like the older ones, but were G5, but it was a select few. Short-lived G2 pet revival. This goes hand in hand with my opinion on the last one. There was a brief few pets that were based off older design, but it never really seemed to go anywhere.
If you made it this far, then thank you for watching till the end, and I hope you found this iceberg as interesting as I did. Unfortunately, I didn't film a proper outro, so please excuse the black screen. But yeah, LPS held a major part in my childhood, and it was really fun researching and compiling the stuff for this video. And that's pretty much it. I will see you guys in my very next video.